Welcome back, collectors, to the InScentive collection. I'm your host, Brandon, and today we are getting into 5 fragrances everybody should have, all right? Without further ado, let's get straight into this. The number 5 slot is going to belong to the quintessential gym bag, all right? And it is going to be Allure-om Sport, all right? This is a great, fresh fragrance that you can wear before you're in the gym. And if you go to the Y like me, you can spray this when you get out of the gym, all right? Very strong, projects well, smells fresh, smells clean, but at the same time, isn't gonna completely dominate the space. It is a toilette, so it's there for a good time, not a long time. And again, it's a very likable, performant, predictable, favorable fragrance. So I highly recommend this, all right? So this is for the gym, all right? Also, there are the flankers. I don't recommend super leger for the gym, but the extreme version of this for the gym also works well. It's a little bit darker, in a lot of ways is a little bit more performant because it is stronger, but I just like the brightness of this. It's kind of like a mix of extreme and super leger. I have a video for that. Check that out if you want to know more about that. All right, so moving on. Number 4 is going to be Christian Dior's Fahrenheit, right? This is a fragrance that you just grab and go. It doesn't matter where you're going, all right? Now, personally, whenever I'm going to the grocery store or some type of store, if I'm going to Wegmans or whatever, I spray this, and it's a great fragrance because it's just like, it's just not offensive, right? The irony of it is like when I first smelled it, I was like, who ever would like this? This is terrible. But on skin, at least for me, I believe this has violet in it. It's just a fragrance that it does smell a little bit like gasoline. Who doesn't like the smell of gasoline? Everybody loves that. But at any rate, jokes aside, it's a great fragrance that is kind of just muted but strong. And it's just, there's a reason why they've been making this since the 80s and it hasn't gone out of print. It's an amazing fragrance. Everybody loves it. And it's also pretty cheap. It's a fragrance that I sometimes swap this out for my gym bag fragrance. So I do keep this in the gym bag as well. But again, it's a really stupid, let me grab this and just apply it and think nothing of it. I don't have a lot of fragrances like that. That is a very valuable section, guys, because like you could literally wear this to an interview. You could wear it anywhere, right? But at the same time, it isn't necessarily my best fragrance, so it isn't gonna be one that I always wear to present well. But if I just want something to wear, bang, I'm going for this. All right, so the number 3 slot is going to be a fragrance for weddings. Now, weddings, when I say weddings, I mean more so something that you wanna dress up, you wanna smell good, you know, and you want to be presentable. You know, you're in a nice outfit, you want to be presentable, and you want to smell good. Ooh, I forgot. I love you. Oh man, this is great. So this is Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, right? I should probably get to the introduction. It is a fragrance that is a blue fragrance. It has lavender in it, very likable. It's Prada's version of a blue fragrance, but again, Bleu de Chanel, if you wanna go that route, I prefer the Parfum version, has that grapefruit note, really like it, really clean. But this is gonna be that category of a fragrance that you wanna dress up well, maybe in an interview, something like that, mass appealing. Isn't gonna completely, utterly dominate the space, very favorable, very well blended. Slightly synthetic, but you know, hey, that's not necessarily always a bad thing. You know, I don't necessarily need to smell exactly like vetiver. Like sometimes I just wanna smell good, so keep that in mind. All right, number 4 is going to be your quintessential date night fragrance, okay? So you met her or him and you want them to just really want to be all up in your face, right? You just like all up on your neck, all up on your face, or you know, the other way around, whatever the case may be. You need a date night fragrance. I personally absolutely love and adore this fragrance for very different reasons. Woo! I love this fragrance, okay? It is a lavender fragrance. I know I have an affinity for lavender. Anyway, the point is, this is going to be that very sweet, cozy, just like, you want to hug, like that extra long version of a hug, right? This is that fragrance. This is that fragrance. It just smells great, guys. The honey, the lavender, the mint. It is a fragrance that just smells good and it makes people want to be close. And it smells like kind of almost edible. You know, it smells almost edible. It's kind of crazy. All right, so those are gonna be your very practical, very try this for that type of scenario. These fragrances here, the 4 of these all have a practicality behind them. right? Suit, store, gym, date. All right, these are all fragrances. Now there are different, categories or different fragrances you can put in these categories. These are the ones I recommend. Now, they work for me, right? I can't recommend something that I haven't used or know nothing about, which seems to be a thing around here. But the point is, I really like these, so I recommend these. Now, having said that, you need to develop your palette. A lot of these fragrances that you guys get, you grow out of. Bleu de Chanel, that happened to me. I'm speaking of experiences. I grew out of that fragrance. I don't really care for it. I don't really like it. This is more my speed, right? It might not be your speed. That's why you have to try it. The point of it all is this. This number 5 section is going to be the experimental line, okay? Now, this isn't necessarily like, an expensive, crazy priced fragrance. This fragrance was like 20, 30 bucks. However, it is considered by the fragrance community to be a reference vetiver, okay? What does that mean? It means if you want to know what a great smelling vetiver smells like, you can try this, okay? This is gonna tell you that. This is only, first of all, this is premium quality. Probably the best built bottle out of all the ones I just listed. Is absolutely beautiful. That's a different conversation. But it's a reference quality. Now, what it also is more of your step into the niche realm, okay? So niche fragrances aren't necessarily expensive. They're not necessarily of like, highest quality of products. Niche is about like fringe type of things, like maybe just you and a group of people might like. This fits that category perfectly. I can almost guarantee that any lady would love all of the fragrances I listed before this one. This isn't for them, this one's for you. This is to learn how to figure out what you do and don't like, and also understand that fragrances don't necessarily always have to have utility. They can be something that's creative. They can be something that speaks to you in a certain type of way. This reminds me of just kind of like a rainy, dank, I lived in Kansas for a while, and in Kansas, the skies could turn black with hate sometimes when it rains. This kind of reminds me of that. It doesn't necessarily put me in a bad mood, it just puts me in a different environment. So the number 5 slot is going to belong to niche type of fragrances or that experimental line, okay? So that is the list. Too many fragrances to all pick up. I highly recommend you sample these and you try these out for yourself. Now, these are all, well, these two here, Christian Dior, tried and true. Also, this is a flanker. The Le Mans is a flanker, tried and true in a lot of ways. And then Prada is their own kind of, spin on this version of a fragrance. But they're all fragrances that have been around and have a lot of research and information on. So check that out. Don't just take my word for it. See what other fragrance reviewers are saying. But that's all I have to say on these videos. Let me know, or in this video, let me know what you guys think. What are your top 4 fragrances that you wear for different utilities? If you don't have one, this is a great place to start. And what's that 5th slot that you say, hey, I'm gonna try I got this for every situation. Now this is gonna be for me. All right, and you should enjoy the fragrances that you have for situations too. It's not just about the immediate space, but those are more likable, more widely accepted fragrances, which is important in society. So that's my list. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.